Hi, welcome. Welcome to tonight's webinar. You have Tracy with Joe in the background today, so we are talking all things breakfast food. So first, before we get started, we love knowing, let us know what you've done today, if you baked anything. Both me and Joe have done a bit of cooking today, so we'll share that with you guys as well and let you know what we've done. And so say hi, comment in the chat, let us know where you're from. We'll run through some housekeeping hints and tips in a sec. Comment and let me know that you can hear and see me okay. I do have my computer. I'll move this out of the way shortly, but I just like reading the comments as everyone comes in. So in the background, like I said, she'll pop in and quickly say hi.
Hey everyone, welcome to Additive Free Breakfast Ideas webinar. I think hopefully you get a lot out of this webinar, and Tracy's got some great ideas for you guys, and she wants to run through what can be hidden in breakfast, and then how to get yourself a really healthy breakfast as well. So it'll be great. Okay, I can see some comments coming in now, which is great. So Tracy's a little bit blurry. That might ease off. We are finding for some reason that as the webinar goes on, everything seems to clear up. So I am wondering, as people are joining and people are coming in, I'm wondering if that's affecting the webinar a little bit, just in the first sort of 5 minutes. So try and bear with us, and fingers crossed it does clear itself up. And I am obviously in the office. I'm going to be answering questions. So the way it's going to work is when Tracy makes something, she's going to explain and show you some breakfast, and then possibly make something, and then I'm going to highlight all the questions. And then when Tracy's finished doing whatever she's doing, it's going to come back to me, and then I'm going to answer all the questions for you. So please ask questions along the way. And I can see all your hellos coming in, which is great. We've got Jackie. Hello, Jackie from Hobart. I know where you are. Anna from Sydney. We've got Kelly and Bronwyn, Maria from the Hunter Valley, and Stacey and Kim. Welcome, everyone. Feel free to say hi, especially if you're new and you've only just joined us live. Couple of little housekeeping things is to try and get as many people off the internet as you can. If you've got kids or husbands streaming on YouTube or streaming on Netflix or on Xbox or something like that, it is going to interfere with your internet connection, and it will make the webinar go really blurry and slow things down. So if you're having any problems, yell out to your family and see if anyone's on the internet. What? And I'm a great advert for your natural beauty products. Look forward to tonight. Oh, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Is that what you mean? I don't know. Alrighty, we'll go back to you, Trace, and yeah, we'll get started.
Cool, awesome. Thanks, Joe. Okay, so like she said, if you can kick everyone else off the internet, you will get a better feed. There is a refresh button if you need to use that, but otherwise we'll get started so that we can all get to bed soon, because it's 8 o'clock here in Hobart and various times around the country, but this hopefully will go for about an hour to an hour and a half, and yeah, we'll get cracking. So I'll just move this out of the way. Put a little stool down here. All right, so first thing I want to run through is some things that can be found in common food that we eat for breakfast. And I think the thing that we need to understand with breakfast is it's a massive habit. Like, once I am onto something that I really like for breakfast, I could eat it every day for a year and it really wouldn't worry me. But I know Jo, she's totally different. She'll eat something for a week and like, no, I want something else, I want something different with breakfast. But it's really, really important to get a really good nutritious start to the day, or the best you can. And I know that everyone is super busy. I'm super busy. I'm up at 6. I get the kids up. They're running around. I'm running around. My husband's already left, and we're out the door by sort of 7:45. So it is super busy in that time. We're making lunches, we're trying to pick some washing out, or we're doing whatever we can for breakfast. And often breakfast gets overlooked. And often, I don't drink coffee, but I know that there's lots of people that do just have a coffee on their way, driving in the car for the hour to work and those sorts of things. So I wanted to show you guys some things that you could have ready the night before, or that are really quite quick to make. And once you get into the habit of making them, you'll find that when I mention a couple of the things, you'll be like, don't be crazy, I don't have time to do those in the morning. But once you get into the habit of doing that, it's actually no longer than cooking a piece of toast. So, all right, first thing I want to show you is some packets. Now, I went to the supermarket and just kind of scoured up and down the breakfast aisle, which I hardly ever visit anymore. We do still buy Weet-Bix, but I do try and get the kids to not have that every single morning. Some mornings, you know, it's convenient and it is not too bad from an additive point of view. But, you know, if I can get them to have a banana on the top or something, I'm even better. However, that's not always possible. So I just, like I said, I went through the breakfast aisle. I grabbed a couple of things that I think are common breakfast foods, or that things that I think people might be drawn to based on what's written on the front. And I just want to show you through those things. So I'll just grab them. Now, let's not be scared, but some things you're going to get a really big shock, and I'm hiding. You probably already saw it. Anyway, the first thing I grabbed was these baked oaty slices. And I grabbed these because I thought, well, they're probably a handy little thing. And this is all the bad stuff, so I just wanted to let you know that. Probably a handy little thing. It says that on the front. On the back, it says, we add natural ingredients like whole grains and butter. We add them, we bake them just like you would at home, apparently. So this is the box, this is the label. However, I can tell you at home, I am not adding a natto 160B, nor am I adding sulfites, nor am I adding vegetable emulsifiers and an umpteenth amount of sugar, let me say, nor am I adding stabilizers, and I think there was another color in there as well, natural flavor and natural color. You can see, you know, a natto, we know, we've spoken about it so many times, is linked to head banging, headaches, migraines, behavioural issues. Sulfites are linked to, you know, asthma, asthmatic type respiratory issues. So anyone with any type of respiratory issues, especially the young and the elderly, should really stay away from sulfites, and especially if you have asthma or any of those type of issues. And a natto, just everyone should stay away from it effectively. So I kind of grabbed these thinking, well, on the run, you know, someone might have a coffee and grab one of these thinking they're great because they've got all these whole grains and, you know, natural ingredients. However, they're not as natural as we think just by reading the label. So that was the first one. The next one I found was, and I grabbed this because it was reduced to $2. And I thought, oh, bargain, okay, $2, it's quite a big box. It says on the front, you know, oaty cereals with seeds and fruits. You know, it says it's got sultanas and apricot fruit pieces. It's blended with cereal flakes, tasty. It's got all these things written on the front. It's got a 4-star health rating. These are just the Woolies brand. Like I said, it was reduced to $2. However, when I looked closer at the ingredients label, again, I found a natto, which is not awesome, and excess sugar. Like it had, I actually counted, it had something like 15 different variations of sugar. So things like caramelized sugar syrup. And then the next one was golden syrup. And then the next one was corn sugar. And then like it went on and on and on. But my favorite, apart from the 160B, my favorite was the apricot flavored fruit flakes. So it tells me it's got, you know, apricot fruit pieces. They're just some apricot flavor of cereal, like crazy town. So that was my next one that I went, no, thank you. Now this one I know is really popular, and I know Joe has spoken about Cheerios before. Basically, this again had our dreaded annatto in it, and it also had the caramel colour 150, I think it was 150C. However, actually it just says colours, caramel and annatto. So, like I said, natto, the links to head banging, headaches, hypertension, all those things, irritability, sleeplessness as well, and caramel is the same. And caramel will often be genetically modified as well. Do you know what? In a lot of places, caramel is banned in foods for infants and young children. Well, who are these marketed to? Like, it just does my head in. It makes me actually really angry. And Jo goes, try not to be sarcastic when you're talking about this, because I'm actually quite a sarcastic person. But I can't help it. Like, seriously, a 4-star health rating, nothing artificial. It's got, all this awesome stuff written on here about natural fibres and natural things. And yet they can put this food in it that is linked to, like, serious health issues in our children, especially. Not cool. But my favourite, and I'm going to just lay that down so you can see this, because this one just goes on and on and on. I'd love anyone to comment if they've actually ever bought an Up and Go and had it for breakfast, or had it as a treat, or popped it in their child's lunchbox. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel ashamed. I'm looking down at the comments just to see if they come through. I'm not here. It's so not my intention to make anyone feel bad. But I just wanted to bring to your attention what is actually in these, because the list goes on and on and on. For starters, it has flavours. We don't know what they are. Flavours could be anything. So the word flavours could mean literally anything they want it to be. So it's got flavours. We don't know what they are. It's got 4 numbers galore. So 460 and 466. Which are linked to bloating, diarrhea, and constipation, or constipation. So it's got those in there as well. It has absolutely no strawberries, considering it's strawberry flavoured milk. I found that quite bizarre. It has 5 teaspoons of sugar per packet. So the 3 packets here would be 15 teaspoons of sugar. Carrageenan, which is another colour. And again, not good for us. So 1 packet of drink, which I know I've seen in kids' lunchboxes, and I know that our school has actually bought them for the kids when they've done swimming trainings in the morning. Sometimes the school provides breakfast, and Up and Go has been one of the things that the school has provided. This was just the strawberry flavour. I didn't look at the chocolate flavour or vanilla or whatever other flavours they are. But I kind of went strawberry flavour, might have strawberries, doesn't have any. So not cool. So I wanted to know what you guys thought of those types of things. Then you've got things like bread, which we spoke about last week in the webinar last week. And if you were there, you would have heard Jo talk about 282, which is a preservative in bread, and again it's linked to a lot of issues in our children's health and our health. And what else have we got, Jo? What else was in bread that you mentioned last week? I had a mental blank.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the 282, but then you've got also just the flours and the wheat, sometimes being bleached white. You've got hidden preservatives in the bread as well, as in the flour, I should say. So sometimes there's, what's it called, bread improver, and that bread improver has a lot of hidden additives and preservatives in that bread improver as well. And then, sometimes you got the 5% loophole, which we talk about in our e-course Additive Free Made Easy. And, then other times you've got artificial food colour in there as well. And what I spoke about last week was that I was actually watching a Play School episode with my son. This is a little while ago. This wasn't recent, probably a good 12 months ago. And they'd gone to a bakery, and, that was the scene of Play School, is they'd gone to a bakery and they had the big churner and they put the flour in and the yeast and the water and salt and sugar. And then they went out and grabbed a bottle, like must have been a 4-litre bottle of yellow food dye, and they tipped a few sloshes of artificial food colour in there, and then churned it up, and then the Play School scene went on, and I was just like, this doesn't need to be like this. So, there can be a lot of things hidden in bread, but then it's so easy to avoid as well. You just have to know how.
Sorry, I just had to unmute myself because if I'm not muted, I flick up while Joe's trying to talk. So I just, I'll keep an eye on my computer down here as well. So the other one, and this is where you can see it now in the background. The other one I want to talk to you guys about is Vegemite. Now, as you can see, this is open. My kids do have this still every now and then, so I know not perfect, and we never ever proclaim to be, but we definitely limit the amount. They would have this, I don't know, it's not very often anymore. There is MSG in Vegemite. It's called yeast extract, and it's a modified version. It's the way they make the yeast extract is it produces an MSG like reaction. And the other thing that's in Vegemite that I want to bring to everyone's attention is the caramel colour that they add to it as well. So like I just spoke about with the Cheerios, caramel colours, you know, often genetically modified, not permitted in foods for infants and kids. But yet this is, you know, Happy Little Vegemite's rosy cheek advert marketed totally to children. And it is also, caramel is, like it can be derived from corn and wheat even. So if you've got a corn or wheat allergy, then you want to be staying away from caramel colours completely because you don't know actually how they get that caramel colour. So like if I make caramel at home, it's sugar and butter, okay? But if we're making it on mass production scales to fulfill all ingredient type things, they are obviously not doing that. They're making it in huge amounts using genetically modified ingredients, often, like I said, from things like wheat and corn, and they extract the sugar out of those things and they do all this stuff to it, and out comes the caramel colour. But it is far from natural, let me tell you. It's completely synthetically made in a factory. So that is getting added to an array of different foods, and it is unfortunately in your Vegemite along with yeast extract, which is a form of MSG. And yeast extract is found in a lot of different things as well, and we totally cover this in Additive Free Made Easy. So before you go and throw everything in the bin, let me just say, you know, we have a really big motto through Additive Free Made Easy of using up what you've got, or if you're not happy to do that, obviously throw it out. But with some things we do say, look, just use it up, it's not too bad. And other things we're like, no, throw that in the bin straight away. It is definitely a personal choice. We do stock the I Am Mighty brand, which I didn't get in time for this webinar. But Jo can quickly talk about that. I know she's got some in her house. She's waving it in the camera there. So she can quickly talk about I Am Mighty. I'm going to pop these things away, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to whip up some really healthy breakfast things that literally will take no longer than kind of pouring a cereal into a bowl and getting your milk out and putting sugar on the top and whatever else everyone does. So I'll pack up, I'll get ready for the next part, and hopefully I didn't freak anybody out. And I know that probably everyone's freaking out about Vegemite. I'm really sorry, but that's how it is.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. It's not our fault. Don't hate us. And as Trace touched on before, we never profess to be perfect, and we never, ever, ever want anyone to feel guilty, because we've eaten it, we've been there, we know what it's like, and at the end of the day, you only know what you know, and that's okay. Like, that's okay. It's all about learning, and if we can try and help you, you know, with a few things along the way, then our job's done. So the I Am Mighty it looks like this. It's a black spread, and are you wearing anything under that apron? Are you talking to me? Because I've got a top on. So the I Am Mighty is, yeah, on our website, and I'm not going to lie, it doesn't taste exactly like Vegemite. It smells a little bit different, and it's probably not quite as salty, but I've been really lucky in able to just make the complete switch, and my kids haven't minded at all. I made some Mighty Scrolls today. There was no complaints. We don't eat really, like we're pretty, I guess, lucky in the way we don't eat Vegemite sandwiches or anything like that anyway. So I didn't have to switch it. But in a scroll, or even if I have put it on some toast, then they like, because I've tested the kids to see if they'll eat them, because I need you guys to know whether the kids are going to eat it or not. And yeah, they were happy. They were fine. So, you know, you can give that a go if you want. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, Vegemite is nice. I love it as well. But once I got over that fear of moving on, it was fine, you know. And we talk about fear in Additive Free Made Easy, because there is a lot of fear about letting go of stuff that you really love. And Tracy hasn't let it go. She still has it in her pantry. So once you know the information and you know what these ingredients mean, you can then make a decision whether you want to eat it or not. And that's fine, because at least you know. And yeah, you can just go from there. So there was a question before about annatto. Crystal asked, what is annatto? So we do have a whole module of annatto in Additive Free Made Easy. And guys, that is, early bird ends tonight. So if anyone is thinking about doing our e-course, then you can save $50, but you've only got until midnight tonight. So annatto is a natural food colour, and they call it natural because it's derived from the seed pod of the annatto tree. So trees are natural, so then they can call this colour natural, but it's one of the worst additives out there. And in the course, you get a whole fact sheet about where it might be found, more information on what it actually is, where it's from, how it's made, and all the details. Like, we're just giving you a small little snapshot of additives and preservatives in these webinars. The whole lot of information is over in the course. Yep. So Jack, you've tried the spread, but the kids didn't like it. I was disappointed. That is disappointing. As I said, it's not exactly the same, but unless you try it, you're never going to know. And, you know, if they love it, great. If they don't, well, bump. But I guess all you can do is give it a go. Yeah. How you going, Trace? I think she's ready. Yep, thumbs up. All right, back to you then.
All right, so what I'm going to make first is an acai bowl. And I just wanted to quickly, Joe just covered annatto, so that was great. So we don't have to, yeah, I saw that question. I thought, oh, I'll just talk. I didn't even mention that. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly say, like, when you're buying peanut butter, keep an eye out for the natural peanut butter. This is just a Sanitarium brand. It's all I could find the other day. There are a few natural ones, and there's even some organic ones at the supermarket. This was no more expensive, yet it has nothing but peanuts. So it's, yeah, 100% peanuts, nothing else is what it says on there. No preservatives, no stabilizers, nothing artificial, and the ingredients literally say peanuts. 100%. So there's no oils added, or, you know, salt even, or anything added to these, or sugars. Whereas if you look at the back of some other peanut butter spreads, there'll be, you know, some other bits and pieces in there. If I can get organic, I will go that one step further and get organic, because peanuts can be heavily sprayed with pesticides, but I just couldn't find it next time. And that's all about making that best choice you can and the best choice possible. So at the time, natural was still better than the not other versions. And if I could have got organic, I would have chosen that one as well. So anyway, that was just with peanut butter. Keep an eye out, the natural one, they're no more expensive. People ask us all the time, is going additive free more expensive? And it's not. Like, you just need to know what you're doing a little bit, and that's what we run through with Additive Free Made Easy. Okay, so I've got the recipe written down because I don't make this very often, so I have to read off that. So, and I'm actually just halving it. So this recipe is on our website. You can go and grab that off the website later. Or if, you know, you don't have to rush out and grab a pen and write this down, it's all there. So basically it was just some chia seeds, and it was only, now I'm using Old Mate 31 over here, and I know you probably can see number 5 in the background there, but she's broken. Not happy. I was cooking tomato sauce and I got an error message, and I'm going to have to call the thermo doctor tomorrow. So anyway, it was a little drizzle of water. into here, and then you blitz up your chia seeds. And you just want to blitz them up so that you're basically breaking them down a little bit. Chia seeds, if they're not broken down just slightly, can make you feel a bit bloated. So I'm just going to blitz these off, and it'll be a bit loud. Alright, so I do like to blitz them off. If I'm making scrolls and stuff, I don't tend to worry because they're going to cook up and stuff in there. But if something like this, yeah, you might just want to blitz them off. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it does make it a little bit nicer. Alright, so then it was peanut butter. Now I've got crunchy here, but you can use smooth, that would be fine. And you can use any nut butter as well. So if you wanted to use almond or cashew or...
Guys, I'm not sure. I didn't hear it either. She might have said it, but I didn't hear it either. But maybe because I was talking. But Tracy's actually making the acai bowl off our website. And you might have seen a photo on Facebook. And, yeah, it's beautiful. So she's making the acai bowl.
Sorry, I did say it, but maybe it didn't come through clear. So that's fine. So as you can see, 10 seconds to blitz my chia seeds. It hasn't really taken me that long at all. And I've just put in some peanut butter again. It took me a couple of seconds. So this, you could replace like any cereal really. So I've just got the acai powder. Now we sell this on our website. It's actually like a really dark sort of purple colour. And it's just all that. This is like a total full-on power superfood boost of like, see what it says. Where does it say it? I should know that. Basically, it's just like this huge boost of vitamins and trace elements and omega-6s and 9s. And yeah, has a really mild taste as well. So that is on our website for those that love acai. And if you go, because it's yummy. And some frozen fruit. Now, I have strawberries in my garden, so that is the strawberries out of my garden that have all been frozen. And they're frozen in our like Simpsons pouches. So I have had to let them defrost a little bit. So it's 150 fruit. It's on our website. They're awesome. They just reuse them over and over and over and over again, and I don't care that it's got a spout. You know, if I had soup in it, that would be really handy. But you know, I've already got strawberries on without a spout. But yeah, that doesn't worry me. So I just freeze them in that anyway. So yeah, you can buy those pouches from our website, and that's all that's going into the acai bowl. I'm just going to wipe my hands. Right, now I'm going to blitz that back up. Now you could add any frozen fruit really that you wanted. I know the recipe on the website says frozen pineapple, so you could add that in if you've got some. I didn't have any. Raspberries would be really yum. Maybe some blueberries if you had them frozen. All right, so I'm just going to blitz this up. Okay. So it's like a frozen smoothie bowl almost, I guess. So while that was blitzing up, you know, you might have boiled your kettle, you might have poured your cup of tea or coffee or whatever. You know, less than a minute if you're doing a webinar, and you could have yourself a really yummy acai bowl. So what I'm going to add into it to give me a bit of extra goodness, because this is jam-packed full of macadamia nuts and what else is almonds, sunflower seeds, pepitas, currants, peanuts, is some of the granola that we stock on our website. Can you guys see that? There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit in the bottom just to give me some crunch, because I love that. So this is gluten-free and paleo-friendly if you are that way inclined, I suppose. We're not paleo, so that doesn't really bother me, but this is delicious, this granola. It is really yummy. All right, let me just check this out. So this is my smoothie bowl. So that's actually taken no longer than kind of putting in a couple of wheat bix into a bowl and, you know, that. So then you can, you know, decorate if you like, pop some more granola on top, put on some frozen blueberries. I don't want to get... Craig's just telling the kids off because someone's phone was dinging. Some blueberries, you could chop up some banana and add to it, put some more strawberries on the top if you had fresh strawberries, whatever you like really, and that's breakfast done in a hurry. Super easy, really fast. You could have some of that prepped the night before even, and yeah, that's your acai bowl. So totally simple to make, but packed full of goodness. Like the nuts are going to keep you full, they're going to nourish you, they're going to got healthy fats in them. You know, like I said, the acai is full of some amazing superfood ingredients. Fresh fruit on the top, yum. You could even drizzle some honey or rice malt syrup over the top. You could put a little scoop of natural yogurt. That would be yummy as well. Really, the options are just endless with these types of things. But yeah, that's your acai bowl. So really fast and zero additives. Like there's no annatto, there's no 160B, there's no sulfites. This is completely sulfite free. There's no of those nasty chemicals that we're adding into our body. This is just total health here in this bowl.
Yeah, they do really. Unfortunately, Tracy's video is really bad. So that text message was from me to see if all the girls are on airplane mode because it's really distorted and lots of comments coming through. But anyway, Tracy's getting NBN, so yay, we shouldn't have any more problems, which will be great. So to answer a few people's comments, yeah, Jane, avocado, it would be awesome, especially if you froze it. Like if you put frozen avocado in there, it would just go so thick and creamy. It would be so yum. And Bronwyn said cacao nibs go well. They do. Although some cacao nibs I find really bitter. Do you find that? Like, let me know a brand if you've got a really yummy one because people love them, but I don't know, can't get the bitterness out. And yeah, then just people saying about the video, but we'll keep going. Hopefully it clears itself up. There's not too much, you know, we're trying our best. Kerry, that's a good question. Is there a Thermomix? And it's pouring down with rain all of a sudden, so hopefully you can hear me okay. There's a Thermomix Milo recipe, very healthy. Yeah, there is. Is that the Thermobexter one? I haven't tried it, but I've heard that that's really good. And someone asked if you can freeze the acai bowl the night before. Jane, or make it and put it in the fridge. It will melt. So the idea is with the smoothie bowl, you need them cold and thick, almost like ice cream. And if you made it the night before, it would just melt. So what I would do is just have your ingredients ready. Like you could put a frozen banana and some berries, your chia seeds, in a Ziploc bag. And then in the morning, all you have to do is get up, tip that into your thermi along with your water and whatever else you wanted and blitz it up. And then your granola, like if you bought the granola, then your granola's already made and then you can just put that on top. It would take no time at all. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, you buy the Aldi ones. I'll have to go shopping at Aldi. All right, thanks for the tip. I think Tracy's ready. We'll go back to her.
Yeah, okay, hopefully it gets better. Kids are probably sending all their streaks. Does anyone else have teenage kids that like have to send all their streaks before they go to sleep to Snapchat? Does my head in. Anyway, hopefully it gets better now that they're all probably not asleep, but at least in bed. All right, The next one I'm going to really quickly show you is just another protein smoothie. So we did sort of the frozen thing before, but protein powders are a great way to, I guess, fill you up in a way. They're also great for after sport and all those types of things, as we know, but make sure you get a clean protein powder. Like, I know my husband goes through tubs of this because he rides his bike all the time to and from work, and this is a great way for him to come home and have some protein after a bike ride. However, a lot of protein powders are packed full of fillers and sugars and ingredients that aren't doing your body any good. So if you do have protein powders, if you are sort of, you know, a workout-outer, that's not a word, someone that goes to the gym, then, and you do use protein powders, then have a look at your ingredients. And if there's things on that label that you just don't understand, or you think, that seems a bit odd, why would that be in there? Then, you know, maybe have a look at a different brand. We stock this one on our website. It's totally clean. It's all organic. It's made from all natural ingredients. As we have on our website, there's the vanilla, which I'm using today, so I'm going to do a vanilla strawberry. And there's a chocolate one as well, which is really yummy as well. My husband just puts a big scoop into a water shaker thing. It's got a little, I could grab it out. It's a shaker container thing. He just shakes it up out of the water out of the tap and shakes it up and drinks that. You could use it with milk, which is what I'm going to do today. And we're going to add some fruit into it to just give it a bit more of a booster, some antioxidant power. So basically I'm doing the same. I've got my frozen fruit from the garden. So you just add as much or a little as you like. Frozen banana would be really yummy. And again, that avocado and things that we were talking about before. So some frozen fruit of any description. Like I said, I haven't frozen any bananas, but even a banana would be fine in there, but frozen would make it go really creamy and thick. You could put a raw egg in if you wanted to. Not so keen on that. You could add in some blueberries, any fruit really effectively, and you want a couple of decent scoops. You know, just check with kids and little kids, but this is fine to give to children. It's absolutely fine. But, you know, you don't want to be overloading them with protein either. So just check the label and, you know, just your best judgment really. But from a health point of view, it's fine for children. So a couple of scoops of your protein powder. So I've just put in 2 tablespoons. I know my husband uses about a quarter of a cup to, maybe about a third of a cup. For him, after he's done a big bike ride, he'll do that. And then you just want some milk. And mine's still in the fridge. So one sec. So again, just as much or a little milk as you like. I'm actually just going to put in about a cupful, so it's about 200, 250 grams. And just going to blitz that all up. Now again, you could do this, you could add some baby spinach in here, you could add some, that's a good way to get your greens. You could add some acai powder in there, you could put some cacao powder in there, you could really mix up smoothies to your heart's content as well. And they're a great on-the-go drink over the Up and Go that we looked at before that had like a zillion ingredients and not even a strawberry in sight. So this is kind of the replica of that. You could make this the night before. You can actually freeze some smoothies the night before as well and pop them in your kids' lunch boxes. They are a great idea for that. Or if you do have like, you know, early morning swimming lessons or early morning gymnastics classes or those types of things, then yeah, you could make this the night before and they can chug it down on their way to school. So I'll fix this up. And we have one massively healthy strawberry milkshake effectively, but it's yeah, great way to get some really healthy proteins. You could also add some nuts into that, and you could also add in, yeah, like cashews, which I know are nuts. You could also add in some oats as well, like if you wanted to put like a small handful of oats. But yeah, that's a great way, which is a much better option than the Up and Go we looked at earlier. And without me talking, like if I just was in my kitchen doing that, it would probably take 30 seconds to make, and that is going to keep you full with the protein. And like I said, if you had added a banana, avocado, and all those things in there, it would actually keep you full for quite a while. So again, you know, it's all about making that different choice and going with that. Are there any questions, Jo? Because I will just keep going.
That looks so good. Yeah. There was, would almond milk be okay? That's exactly what I use. I use almond milk. And the Bircher muesli that Tracy's got on the table there in the Farage range, I just want to say to you guys, if you're interested in any of that Farage cereal, which Tracy's going to touch on a little bit, it is 10% off until midnight tonight as well on our website. So you can check that out. The other thing, that's what I was going to say, there's a Bircher muesli in that range, and what I do is I make the Bircher muesli the night before, and then I put a big scoop of the Bircher muesli in my smoothie as well, and yeah, it makes it really nice and thick and creamy and stuff too. You can keep going, Traces. There is one question. Sorry, Maria, I thought you meant, okay, with the Milo, is Milo okay? There's no really, really harsh additives and preservatives in Milo, but it's really, really high in sugar, which I'm sure you probably already know, and it has been stripped of anything good. So you can't believe any of the advertising that, you know, I mean, they advertise kids' triathlons and cricket and all sporting things. Well, I can tell you now, I would not be giving a glass of Milo to my kids before they go and play a game of cricket. So, yeah, there's nothing really harsh in there, and I think that it's okay as a treat, but a treat to me with Milo would be twice a year. Sorry. Back to you, Trey.
Thanks, Jo. Jo's versions of treats are totally different, and that's where additive-free made easy is about. Like your choices and what suits your family. Because I can tell you, if I walk to my pantry, there's a tin of Milo in it. We're not as strict as Jo with our kids. She's definitely way stricter, and that is where, you know, our motto throughout the whole of Additive Free Made Easy is don't stress it. And what works for one family is totally different to what's going to work for another family. So when you're going additive free, it's not hard and it's not scary. They are the two biggest things we get. We get asked, you know, all the time about fussy kids. We cover all of that throughout the course as well. And, you know, we get asked all the time, like, what do you eat, for starters? And I mean, I could show you my pantry, and it's got exactly the same food in it that I'm sure is probably in your pantry at home. It's probably just a different brand, or I may have made it myself, or you know what, I've probably just bought it anyway because I'm happy to buy it because I know what's in it, and I've made that informed decision about, okay, I'm actually okay that I've got a tin of Milo in my cupboard. My kids, but they don't have it weekly. I can say that. Same with the Vegemite. They don't have it weekly, but I'm happy for it to be there for if they do want it, and then they can make that decision. I've got 16 and 14-year-olds. Like, they need to be able to make their own decisions. They're not babies anymore. I'm, you know, not making as many decisions for them as I once would have. If and I had a 2 and a 4-year-old, perhaps I wouldn't buy it anymore. And then they just don't have it. Like, if it's not there, they can't drive themselves to the shop. They're not at the supermarket. You know, like, you're paying for it. So just don't buy it if you don't want them to have it. It's really as simple as that. If it's not in the house, they can't ask for it. Okay. I'll quickly go on to something else. Now, one of the big things we did want to go on about tonight is, or talk about tonight is, with breakfast, think outside the square. Like, you don't have to have cereal or a smoothie or things that have been marketed to us, toast and jam and Vegemite. They're really heavily marketed to us as breakfast items, which they are, but they don't have to be your only choice. Like, I made zucchini slice. I'm just undoing it here. Now, this has got zucchinis, obviously, but it's got nitrate-free ham, it's got cheese, it's got carrot, it's got mushrooms, it's got capsicums, 3 different colours, so a rainbow of colours. It had, I'm trying to think what else was in there. I think it might be it. Anyway, I think that was about it. Corn, capsicum, carrots, cheese, mushrooms, nitrate-free, ham and bacon. But anyway, you can add whatever veggies. If I had had broccoli, I would have put that in it. Any veggies you like, but that would be a really healthy breakfast choice. Now, you can make up, I actually made, it was like this big, a whopping big zucchini slice. It was, you know, it's yay deep. It was in a really big Pyrex dish. It didn't take me long at all. Whisked everything up. I did it through an Instagram story. So each of those are 20 seconds, and I think there were 5 or 6 of them, so maybe 2 minutes to make it. Cook it in the oven for 40 minutes to an hour, whatever it took. And, you know, you've got, well, I think it got must have got about 8 pieces out of it. So that's breakfast for a week plus some. That is a super healthy choice for breakfast. I know my kids eat it, well, one eats it more than the other one's not so fussed. But that's a great choice for breakfast, even though it's technically a dinner item, I guess, or a lunch item maybe. But why not have it for breakfast? And then the other one I wanted to say is, like, my breakfast daily, and I mentioned it at the start, is I'm happy to have the same thing for breakfast. That does not bother me at all. I know other people get bored, but what I have for breakfast every single day, pretty much give or take here or there, is 2 eggs. I cook them on the frying pan. I've just converted to cast iron frying pans, which I'm loving. And I cut up some zucchini, some carrot, some tomato, and I use a little bit of frozen corn. I pan fry all that in some ghee or coconut oil. I put in maybe 1 or 2 slices of nitrate-free bacon and 2 eggs. And that, like, I'm not hungry till lunchtime. It is so filling, and it doesn't take long at all. Like, it takes me no longer to chop up those couple of vegetables. I put them in the frying pan. I go and do something while they're frying up. I come back, I put my eggs in. I go and do something else. I come back and my breakfast is cooked. Like, I can walk away because I don't have little children. I get it. It's not suitable for everybody. But for me, like, or, you know, if you're in that age bracket with older kids, it's totally fine. I don't leave the house, like, obviously, but I might just go to the, you know, open the curtains and go and make my bed really quickly and put a load of washing on or something while that's cooking. And I'm not just forever coming in and out of the kitchen, or I might make my own lunch, get myself prepared, get a cup of tea, you know, check my emails probably. And, you know, breakfast is done, and it's 1 frying pan to wash up. Like, it doesn't take much to even wash it up. So, you know, it is a great choice for breakfast. I'm happy to have that all the time. It's really easy. You could even pre-cut some of those vegetables the night before, and then you just have to kind of tip it in super fast. It would take longer to probably cook toast. Like, seriously, it's not hard at all. So I just want everyone to think a little bit outside the square. We get asked for advice all the time on fussy kids, and like, well, you know, what are my children? I can't get them to eat this, I can't get them to eat that, what should I feed them? I like to eat. Here's my first question back to those parents is, well, what will they eat? Then we can go from there and look at, okay, they'll eat chicken. Okay, I'll feed them chicken for breakfast. Like, why not? You know, who cares? Like, let them have chicken for breakfast. Whoop-de-doo. It doesn't have to be cereal just because it's not the mainstream marketed to version of breakfast. You might have children that love soup. Let them have it for breakfast if you're struggling with breakfast and you don't know what to give their kids. You might have kids, you may want to cook a roast meal. Let them have a roast for breakfast. It really doesn't matter. You know, no one's the sky's not going to cave in and a thunderbolt come out of it, you know, and blast you down.
My kids have spaghetti bolognese for breakfast quite often, and I just limit, like, only because we're a bit gluten intolerant, I limit the amount of pasta that they have. So I'll put way more bolognese on top, but that's up to you. But, you know, my spaghetti bolognese is packed full of veggies. Go for it. If you want it for breakfast, I'm more than happy to give it to you for breakfast. So, yeah, definitely thinking outside that box.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully you guys can see that you know, what started as a pile of additives, sulfites, annatto, an array, let's just say like 100, you know, more like totally excess sugar, and then obviously the caramel and annatto flavours in there. Bread, like we mentioned, with the 282 and different ingredients in that. Sometimes food colours even, you know, fruit bread will be full of sulfites for the dried fruit content that's in it. Hot cross buns, keep an eye out for the sulfites. They'll be in the dried fruit. So it's really just learning the information and figuring out, well, what I want to eat is different to what the next person wants to eat, but it is not hard. And if you want to know more, Jo might pop the link up to Additive Free Made Easy so you guys can click on it, because it's super, super easy. You don't have to be buying these things. Your kids will start learning that it's not in the house. They'll, you know, the thing with like sugar, for example, now we're not sugar free at all by any means. There's a homemade biscuits that I've baked over here, you know, you probably can't even see them, but in that container over there. We're not sugar free, but the thing with sugar is the more you eat it, the more your body will crave it, and the less you'll want to eat another type of food. So when you're eating high sugar amounts of cereal, or you're adding extra sugar to the top, because I know my kids did and do, your body isn't then by lunchtime wanting something healthy, it's wanting more sugar. And that's where the fussy things come in. So if you're, you know, Jo's probably cringing, but sometimes we're enabling our kids to be that way. Like if we're allowing them to eat all this food, of course the next food they're going to want to eat by morning tea is another sugary thing, and then by lunch it's more sugary thing, and then they're not going to eat what they should be eating, you know, from a health point of view. So really, really, really limit the sugar at breakfast, because they'll go up on a sugar high, and when they're starting to come down, they're moody, irritable, all those things, and they're not going to want to eat. You're going to put in front of them or something else, because their body just wants more sugar and craving that sugar. So whilst we're not sugar free, I just wanted to mention that as an additive, it is quite harmful as well. So be wary about the sugar content in the foods you're feeding yourself as well, and your children. But from an additive point of view, as in a, you know, a man-made chemical substance that they're adding into foods, be really, really careful with your sulfites, especially coming into winter and those types of things. And yeah, join up to Additive Free Made Easy and learn about all the foods. I mentioned nitrate-free bacon. You know, nitrates are linked to so many health issues. It's not funny, even to cancer. That's when the World Health Organization a couple of years ago put out their big thing and got crucified, that, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Processed meats are linked to cancer, and every media outlet around the world went off their chops about it. But the World Health Organization is stating it, so you know it's not something that we're just made up. It's there in fact in black and white that, you know, processed meats and the ones that are treated with all these chemicals are linked to cancer. Not great, you know, so we don't want to be eating it, but that doesn't mean we go without. We just choose better options. So that's what we run you through with Additive Free Made Easy. So hopefully you guys have, you know, got an idea of where things can be hidden and lurking in our food. And the other thing I just wanted to really quickly touch on is, you know, you might have fed your children cereal for breakfast with, you know, numbers and stuff in it. You might have popped one of these in their lunchbox. So there's another whack of, you know, who knows what. Then for lunch, you may have fed them, you know, Vegemite sandwich or jam on sandwich or something using margarine, which it has annatto most of the time in it as well. And you know what? Margarine is mostly derived from palm oil, which is clearly not great for the orangutans or for the world. So really just wanted to touch on that as well. So there's, you know, you've had breakfast, you've had a popper juice or even a fruit juice or something in their lunchbox. You've had your cereal, your toast, bread sandwich thing. You might have put ham on it or something. You know, at dinner that night, you may have opened up a jar and cooked chicken something or other in your pot. And, you know, so by the end of the day, our bodies are consuming not just one additive, but you might have consumed like 30, 40, 50 additives or even more in a day without any idea, because that's what I was like. But I had zero idea that this was in our food, like zero. And then as soon as I started learning it, our life's changed. I'm so much healthier. I'm so much more alert. I know when I've eaten crap because I'm just like moody. I get dark circles under my eyes. I get breakouts. I get really bloated. Things just aren't good. And I know when my kids eat it, I can tell straight away when my kids eat it. It is, yeah, it's really, really not cool. So hopefully, I don't know if Joe's got any other questions to answer. I'm going to bring the computer back up. I'm going to pop some of this away so that I can talk to you guys a bit more without all this in front of me. But that's pretty much breakfast in a nutshell. It's really not hard to kind of swap a few things around. You can still have toast, like I've still got bread in the freezer, but I buy preservative-free bread from the bakery. And we quite often still have bread for breakfast. I make pancakes sometimes, even on a school day. I'll add the protein powder and often the chocolate one, so that kids having chocolate pancakes before school, with banana and blueberry and strawberries on the top, so they're getting, you know, a good hit there. And it doesn't take long. Like, and I'm still out the door at 7:45, like every other family, you know, like, and yeah, it's easy, guys. Just give it a try.
It is easy. It is really easy. So I want to run you through Additive Free Made Easy before you duck out. So Early Bird is open now. It ends tonight, and then tomorrow it goes up to full price. Or from 1 minute past midnight tonight, it goes up to full price. So at the moment with Early Bird, it's only $147, and then it goes up to $197 tomorrow. We do start on the 27th of February. And we've had over 1,000 people register for our course now, not this intake, I'm talking over the last 12 months. And lives have literally been changed. I've got a few testimonials that I'm going to tell you, read to you. But what it is Additive Free Made Easy is a 4-week e-course. So it's all done online at your own pace. And you just you log in whenever you're ready, and you just go through, you watch all the videos, you read the information, and we have a private Facebook group. Now, this private Facebook group is worth more than $147 alone. All the members that have already done Additive Free Made Easy, they're so supportive. They're now super knowledgeable. Everyone backs everyone up. You know, we all face the same dramas, like my mother-in-law doesn't support me, or my husband's being a douchebag. Or, you know, my kids are feral, my kids won't eat anything, or just everyday struggles. We all chat about it in that group. Plus, obviously, there's, you know, a lot of useful information as well that happens in there. So week 1 is open during week 1. When week 2 opens, you get access to week 1 and 2. When week 3 opens, you get access to week 1, 2, and 3. And then when week 4 opens, you get access to the whole 4 weeks. Then we leave it open for an extra few weeks to give you plenty of time to cover it. So for each module, there's a topic. So it might be MSG. Now, I noticed Crystal asked before about sulfites and nitrates. So we cover both of them in Additive Free Made Easy. So nitrates, as Tracy said before, definitely not good for us. They can be linked to kidney issues. They're carcinotic. They're just no go. But we actually delve way more deeper into the fact of it all, how it's made, how it's processed, how, like, all the information that you need to know. And same with sulfur dioxide. We interview Lee from Natural Healthy Mama. She's just changed her business name. I think it's Natural Healthy Mummy she's changed it to. And a full fact sheet on sulfites. Sulfites is definitely a no-go in this house, along with MSG. They totally react with my daughter. And you get to know this throughout the course as well. Like, you will start noticing things when you take them out of your life. And we're not about wanting you to do it immediately. We're the opposite. We actually want you to do it slowly. And as some product, like as your sauce runs out, switch it up with the other brand. As something else runs out, you switch it up. And over time and over the 4 weeks, you're going to have a very different looking pantry to what you necessarily have now. And we've had people do our course that have a really healthy lifestyle, and, you know, they have learned a lot of information already, and they've come to us and said, look, I've done, you know, this. Do you think this is going to be useful to me? And, you know, we've always come back with yes. Like, nobody can know everything, including Tracy and I. And I feel like I do every course out there because I want to learn as much information as I possibly can. And then they've been really thankful at the end of the course and gone, you know what, that was really good. So I've got a couple of testimonials which I'll read here quickly. So this one's from Georgina, and she's only a 19-year-old girl, a 19-year-old nursing student. She said, first of all, thank you so much, Tracy and Joe. I started the course feeling a little like a fish out of water. I'm a 19-year-old nursing student at university, and I live at home with my single mum. I signed up to the course thinking that most of it might not be relevant to me, as I am not a mum and I'm not around young kids. My why was, first of all, to do this for myself and also my mum and my future children, so I can teach them all this right from the get-go. How amazing is that? I was very wrong. Whilst a lot of the course is aimed at families, it is totally adaptable to any lifestyle. I had no idea that additives and preservatives were doing so much damage and how much I wasn't looking after me. The topics that were discussed in the course that shocked me the most were the phthalates, nitrates, and benzoates. I now feel empowered to know that I'm eating and make informed choices about what I put on and in my body. One thing that I really did not expect out of the course that I found really empowering is the importance of self-care. I always thought I took care of myself relatively well, but after watching Amy's interview, I sat up and realised that I really don't, and that I need to start now. Thank you so much, Tracy and Joe. I have found this journey very, very empowering and emotional, and I cannot thank you enough. Keep doing your thing, and remember, #don't stress it. How cool is that? So that is our motto throughout the whole course, #don't stress it. Just #don't stress it, because it's the same with the course, like #don't stress what you've done before, #don't stress it what you're learning. It's exciting. Like, yeah, it's exciting. And we do cover self-care because as mums, if you've got kids, you know that we always come last, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, doing additive-free made easy, initially a lot of people do it because they've got kids and they, you know, want to provide the best health for their kids. But what about us? We deserve that too. You agree with me, Trace? We deserve to live as long as we can. Yeah. So yeah, it is a brilliant, like, we're really proud of this course. It will just change the way you look at everything. It's really easy to do. When we built the course, we built it so busy people could do it. We built it so it's not in doctor's language, it's in adult human language. It's easy to understand, it's easy to read, it's really user-friendly. You literally just click through each page. We've got amazing interviews in there. We interview doctors, health coaches, self-care people. Oh, who else? We look at fact sheets on how to deal with fussy eaters. We look at how you go to a birthday party and not totally freak out. And we also look at unsupportive family and friends as well, and how you can deal with them, how you deal with school, everything. So yeah, I can't say much more about it. I just think it's the best thing ever. I'd love for everyone to do it.
I agree, Joe. It is a really empowering course. I just wanted to run the discount code for Additive Free Made Easy. It's coming up. It's 197. There is a discount code. It is I am ready. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, Trace. So the discount code is I am ready, one word, and that's valid until midnight tonight. I'll just go through and see if there's any questions.
Yeah, it's just pouring rain, so that's probably why I'm breaking up. It's like torrential.
Fair enough. I've got rain here too. So what are some questions? Any questions for us, guys? Gemma, do you have any view on artificial sweeteners? Are any good or better than others? We get asked a little bit about artificial sweeteners, and we don't touch on that in Additive Free Made Easy. I've done a lot of whole food courses, and I've watched a lot of things online about artificial sweeteners, and there's mixed reviews about it, and I think it's a bit of a personal choice. Personally, I don't use artificial sweeteners. I try and stick to as natural as possible when it comes to anything I'm putting on my skin or in my mouth. And I just feel like artificial sweeteners weren't there 100 years ago. So, do we really need to be using them now, or can we just cut back on the sugar? I'm sort of not keen on it, only because I think you can get a more natural way around things. And I use coconut sugar, I use Rapadura sugar, I also use raw sugar, but I'm just mindful about, obviously, how much I'm eating. I would rather give my 3-year-old and 6-year-old proper organic cane sugar than an artificial sweetener. But that's my answer. What other questions have we got? The protein shake recipe is not on our website, but all Tracy did was she just added fruit. The protein powder is on our website though. That's under the Nutra Organics tab on our website. And the recipe Tracy made was literally just berries, protein powder, milk. Is that all you put in? I think that's all she put in.
Yeah, that was it. You could add some honey, or like I said, you could add any fruit you wanted. You could have added some, or a handful of oats, or a handful of like macadamia nuts or almonds or something like that for a nut. But yeah, it was just what I just made then was basically real strawberries.
Yeah, what I was talking about with the Bircher was I just added a big scoop of Birchering, so then I know I'm getting some carbs with the rice flakes. It's all gluten-free, and healthy fats with the nuts and the coconut, and I soak it in almond milk. So just a reminder, guys, that forage range Trace had there's porridge, Bircher muesli, and granola, all gluten-free, and you scoop a handful out and you just get like this handful of nuts and seeds. It's amazing. All 10% off until midnight tonight. That sale will run out tonight. So you just go to the sale tab on our website, and you'll be able to see them all there. I can see a few people have joined, so I'm going to welcome a few people in a minute, and I'll just see. Lots of people are saying that they're loving that they've loved the course, and it's so good to see you guys back here too, and you're still hanging out with us. It's awesome. So guys, I am just going to refresh my page and welcome a few people in. We've got Claire, welcome to Additive Free Made Easy, Bronwyn, Sarah, Cara, Tegan, Linda, Lauren, and Stephanie. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're pumped to start next Monday, which is Tracy's birthday.
So the best day to start. Just wanted to answer some of the questions. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm cutting in and out anymore, but we'll see. So Joanna has just asked, will there be another course? I can't afford it at this time. We generally run 4 a year, but we're not sure. We do have a bit of travel coming up, so we'll probably only do 3 this year. So yeah, really try and jump on board with the next one, Joanne, and that'll be fine. Putting your kids to bed. Great ideas for some quick breakfasts. Thanks, Lane. Hopefully that helped you. You know, just try something new tomorrow. Just see how you go. Was some down further. Oh, Jackie asked, do I get my bread from the bakery? From Banjo's. I get it from Baker's Delight, actually, Jackie, here in Hobart. But Banjo's, I think, is the same. Just ask for an ingredients printout from Banjo's. Just convenience for me. Baker's Delight is where I hit. And yeah, I'm the same with Joe about the artificial sweeteners. I think if the word artificial is in there, I'm not okay with it. That's, you know, not okay with me to have anything artificial anymore, or I try my best to stay away from as much artificial as I can. So I'm a bit with Joe on that one. But otherwise, I think all the other stuff has been answered. The last bit way down the list was sulfites, the one that we have to watch with respiratory issues. Absolutely. So it's 220 is the number you're looking out for, and yeah, or it should say sulf number 220. And yeah, if you have any asthmatic type problems, or even if you've been sick or had a chest infection or bronchitis, or, you know, any pneumonia or any of those respiratory issues of any kind, then try to stay away from 220. But if you are asthmatic, avoid it totally 100% for your when you crook. Yeah, Nicole said if I can do additive-free made easy, anyone can. Yeah, so Nicole's in her 50s and she did it for herself. I'm assuming that's the same Nicole that I'm...
I have to apologise because I called her 56 the other week. She's only 50. Sorry.
Oh, only 50. She's only 50. But she did it herself and her own health, and totally agree. Like I could look back at some of the food I have eaten or used to buy on a really regular basis. It kind of makes me feel really ill now, like to think back of what I used to buy, like barbecue shapes. I'd buy Tim Tams, I'd buy anything really. I used to buy packaged and cook with them. I would always cook a lot from scratch and use raw ingredients and real ingredients, but use the convenience of packet mixes, especially if we were camping or going on holidays or, you know, school holidays. I used to, oh my God, and Cocoa Pops, no more. Just as a treat, you know, but out completely. Like, so don't get me wrong, like if I can do it, and I did it, you know, Jo's story, she's done health issues with her children, like she had issues going on. I didn't have that. I did it purely for choice, I guess, if you want to say those, look at it like that. I know the health implications of eating some of the food, so I've chosen not to eat those foods because they're linked to cancer and thyroid issues. Now there's thunder. Great. You can probably lose power. But for me, it was a choice. Like just, you know, we didn't have behavioural issues. We didn't have links to asthma. We still don't have any real serious health concerns that may put you down that path of additive-free eating. We've chosen to do it. So that's probably why we're, and that's where, you know, each to their own. Like there's no pressure to be a seen additive in our group or by me and Joe. Like we're not pushing you to do anything. We just want you to live the healthiest life you can and keep it. And like we ask you to why, like why you've chosen to go additive free. And my why is that I, as a mum, want to keep my kids as healthy and safe as possible for their whole life. Like that's my mum's job. That's my job as a mum. Part of that now is to feed them food free from harmful chemicals, because that to me is keeping them as healthy and safe by what I feed them. So that is my why, and that's why I chose to live at. And hello, Haley. Miss 16 is coming in eating a banana at 9:15 at night. She's still hungry. There you go. So that's my why, and that's why I've chosen, you know, to go additive free. So you don't have to have huge issues. You don't have to have behavioural issues. It's not totally about that. There's a whole array of reasons, like the 19-year-old girl that chose to do our course. You know, that's fabulous. Now she's getting another banana. Well, could be worse. All right, back to Jo. I don't know if there's any other questions.
When will your organic vanilla be back online? The answer to that is we have no idea. And that really sucks because I'm nearly completely out of vanilla altogether, and I'm going to have to go and buy some at the supermarket, which makes me feel a little bit ill. There was a massive big shortage of vanilla in Madagascar, and they've told us the price to get it in, and we would have to charge you guys $45 a packet for a pack of 10 beans, and we'd have to have 15 kilos. It's just probably not going to happen. So Gemma asked, do we have a list of good and bad food? This is something we get asked all the time, and the answer to that is no, because that wouldn't be serving you justice. If we were to give you a book and say, here's a good list and here's a bad list, you would still not be understanding the ingredients. And it would sort of be impossible to make those lists as well, because ingredients change all the time. You know, for example, Jamie Oliver used to have some fish cakes that I was promoting, and then someone read the ingredients and he now puts some yeast extract in there. Obviously, he's changed it up, which is really annoying. So we would hate to give you an ingredient, a shopping list, and then the ingredients be wrong and they change way too often. But our goal is to give you the information so you can read the ingredients and know what you're buying. That's empowering. And you're spot on with the chocolate. Lindt 70% or 80% is great. Lindt's a good brand. And Loving Earth, the Black and Gold Organic.
No, it's called Green and Blacks. That's
Green and Black, is it? I was close. And yeah, I don't know what else. I think, what else brands? You're a chocoholic, Tracy.
Yeah, I was just saying, and then I realised I was still muted. Yeah, if you want to know about the chocolate that's good, I can tell you which chocolates are good. Well, from an additive point of view, because none of them are good from a health point of view, let's face it. But from an additive point of view, and we covered, like Jo said, you know, hints and tips are free-flowing in Additive Free Made Easy, because people will go to the shop and go, hey, I've just checked this. And in that group, yeah, it's amazing, that group. It's so awesome. So, yeah, but, yeah, Green and Blacks is the one that she meant, not whatever she said, Black and Gold or something. But, yeah, and organic chocolate, mostly. Like, there's still sugar, there's, you know, they're still not good for us, let's face it. But they're better choices than others. I will point out here that Freddo Frogs have, from our last phone call to Cadbury's, have a natto in them, which is not cool. Sorry, shoot the messenger again. I've just ruined Vegemite now. I've just ruined Freddo Frogs.
I think that's the really empowering thing, though, Trace, is that we know this information. Like, I just find that really empowering. I don't find it scary anymore. I would prefer to know.
I should call Cadbury's again, though, and just confirm again. But that is one thing we talk about as well during the course, is if you're unsure of an ingredient or it says natural flavour, which all the Cadbury's chocolates that I've ever looked at say natural flavour. Natural flavour can mean anything, like literally pretty much anything. And that is a massive hint that there's something maybe not quite what we want to be eating in it. So if you see natural flavours, and the other big one is if you see something that says no added MSG, generally means there's MSG. They just haven't added 621 MSG, like the MSG. They've added a version of MSG, and there's like over 100 names for MSG effectively that they can name stuff. And it can be classed, it is MSG at the end of the day. When you break it down, it's just not 621 MSG, like the number 621. So anything that says no added MSG probably means there's MSG. Well, most 99% of the time means there is MSG in it. Like I said, they just haven't added extra. Just want to say that.
That's a juicy information. Well, if there's no more questions, we'll get going. Hopefully we see you over in the course, or I know there's a lot of people watching the webinar that's done the course, so we'll see you over in the chat group and talk to you over there. And Jane is saying that Quirky Jo has a recipe for chocolate in her book. So there you go, you can make your own if you've got that book. And yeah, thanks very much for joining us. They're always so much fun. Now guys, this is a webinar series. So we've got one more webinar to go, which you have now registered for, which is next Sunday. So that webinar is on takeaway food and what you can make at home to save yourself getting some takeaway. So really quick dinner meals, I guess, is what it's going to be on. And that is on Sunday night as well next week. And yeah, don't forget about the $50 for early bird. I am ready is the code, and Garage Cereals 10% off. So thanks guys, take care, and we'll see you over in on social media.
Bye.
Hold on. Bye.